Welcome to the Horror Friendly Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Horror Friendly Podcast, part of the You Run Podcast Network. My name is Katie, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host and bestie, Chantel.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. We saw each other this weekend, so I think we're still recovering.
We a little bit, yeah. I literally you just sat and watched me eat a salad because I was like, I need a vegetable after this weekend.
Yeah, we drank a lot of rum, we watched a lot of Netflix, and we had a great time.
So much rum.
So much. And the weird thing was that it didn't really affect us, and that was the scary thing.
Yeah, we both came down the next morning absolutely fine, and I was like, I don't know if we're still drunk or if we need to be concerned. We did eat a lot of pizza.
Yes.
And a lot of ice cream, which I think sobered us up.
Yeah. I think that helped. But yeah, I'm only just recovering, so.
Yeah. She said, are you drinking a beer?
No.
Hair of the dog. Hair of the dog, you're fine. Well, I'm sat there
in a salad. Holiday Monday.
Yeah, well, I'm like, I need vitamins. You're like, beer. Which one of us is hardcore and which one is absolutely not?
Neither of us.
Okay,
I've got water too.
Yes, but we did see each other 2 days ago, which has kind of led to this being a bit of a different episode. Because while drunk, and actually we were somewhat bad at this, but we got drunk throughout. We decided to watch a new Netflix documentary that we had heard about. I think you'd heard about it and said it was meant to be really good. And it was called Should I Marry a Murderer? And we were like shouting at my telly. So we were like, we have to cover this. So it's going to be a bit of a different episode, this one, because we're going to try not to give away too many spoilers because it is still very new. But we have thoughts, and it's only going to be a shorter episode just so we can cover it. But we also haven't covered a documentary before, so
yeah.
Do you want to kick us off with your first thoughts?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, yeah, I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. I'd seen it like advertised on Netflix, like everyone does when you're on there, but I hadn't read up about it or like anything. So when I started watching it, and as I was sat with you looking at the Twitter reviews, they were just such a contrast to like what we were thinking at the time. So like, yeah, I don't know what I was gripped instantly. Like, I think when Netflix do make a good one, they do make a good one. Like, you are instantly like gripped, especially the limited series as well. When there's only like 3 episodes, it's like, yeah, of course we're gonna watch this. Like, this isn't like an 8-episode situation. Like, you're gonna get gripped into it. So yeah, I was instantly gripped. I really enjoyed it for the whole part, but I enjoyed the whole thing. But I think just like the reviews on Twitter kind of ruined it for me because I was just like, what the fuck? But we'll get into it. But yeah, what did you think?
I think so I actually forgot to do the sort of like information about this. If you haven't heard of it, it's a fiance turned key witness reveals how she stayed engaged to a man accused of murder while gathering evidence against him in this documentary series. So, because again, when it's like, should I marry a murderer? We literally sat down and both of us were like, well, it depends. Like, what type of murderer? And that sounds stupid, but like,
oh my God.
Like, yeah, because we were like, there's different levels, which sounds again stupid, but like some people, like, did he marry his daughter's rapist? In which case, marry him in a heartbeat. And we were like, which is why we were like, we have to watch the documentary because what's the circumstances? If there's a documentary, it's probably not that. It's probably not a vigilante killing. It's probably worse.
Yeah.
And you picked out, like, we watched, they say 3 episodes. Episode 1, you fucking clocked in when there is more to this than he is telling her. So it was interesting to me that the fiance was actually one that came clean, and it wasn't like something she uncovered. I mean, again, I'll give away.
It's hard I think we can.
I give away a few things from the first. So I'll just try not to give away the ending for the third. But yeah, you clocked it. Like, he's definitely holding back. And as you say, there was so much, as we were reading through Twitter, so much dislike for her, and we couldn't believe it because we're like, but she's done nothing wrong. She's actually like trying to come forward and trying to fucking survive and protect herself and do the right thing. And so many people were like, well, she, this horrible thing she did, this terrible thing. And it's like, what? She's doing her best. She's, getting very angry at the Twitter world.
Yeah. Well, I think with the episode 1, when it was revealed, I was like, this is Netflix. Like, they're going to draw this thing out. There's not going to just be this. So I just kind of guessed from Netflix documentaries how they do always tend to hold something back to keep the viewer kind of engaged. So
Well, that's the thing as well. It's like it's not a spoiler that murderer because that was in the title. Like we knew that part was coming. But it's
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
it was just like, I mean, like the basic premise of it is that obviously, as Tell said, like he admits what he's done with his brother, like this terrible thing, and like what she does, it's kind of also is about her and how she reacts to it, and you know that at some point she goes back to him, and at some point she still loves him, and she was engaged to this guy, like she was in love with him, even though they were only together for like 3 months, but
Yeah, I can figure
like
out the timeline. I missed
no,
how
I
long they'd
think it
been
was about 3
together.
months. Like it wasn't very long, but it was
Right.
just a love bomb situation, I think. And like, and so on Twitter, everyone was giving her shit because they were like, why are you going back to this guy when you know about his past? Why are you doing this and that? But I think what people are forgetting is that like there's a thing called manipulation. And like she's also a fucking human human thoughts. So she's not going to just turn herself off or switch off like a robot. Like when you've gone through such, I mean, we all know how it feels when you go through like a really traumatic relationship and you find someone else and you just think, oh God, like I don't want to fuck this up. I don't want to. So, you know, she's got a lot of shit and she made some mistakes, but the shit she got was just crazy to me.
I think as well, she, as you say, like her previous relationship hadn't been good. So I
Yeah.
think there was part of that, like, well, I can't fuck up this one. He love bombed her. They also like it wasn't like he proposed, wasn't it? Like the uncle basically like gave them an engagement present. So again, she was kind of in this situation, like, oh well, are we now? Okay. Like it was
Mm,
almost kind of just expected of her. So
yeah.
she was kind of like, yeah, like pulled in to play this role. But we also said it like in the first episode, when she was talking about him, like when they first got together and she went up to his farm and all this, like the way she was talking about, she was in love with what he could give her, which was these incredible hikes and the highlands. And it wasn't necessarily him.
Mm,
And I think that's really important when people are like in relationships and it's like they do get you kind of become attached to that lifestyle,
mm,
not necessarily the person. And I think that was really unfortunate for her that, he was giving her this incredible stuff. She was coming from a bad place. He was taking her on, into nature, which was going to be
mm,
healing anyway.
mm,
And then even when he did tell her, the way he did it was so manipulative and so borderline abusive. Actually, I would say
mm,
it was abusive. Her only reaction was to placate him and survive.
mm,
Like if she'd reacted any other way, she'd be dead.
mm.
Um, and that's so when people are like, I can't believe she reacted like this, I'm like, but in that situation, she had to.
Yeah.
And yes, then there was following steps, but anything she did after, he
Mm.
knew where she lived, he knew her car, he knew her job. She was vulnerable. So I
Yeah.
really hate that everyone's forgetting that part.
Yeah, that's true. It's really true. Like she was vulnerable. She opened herself up to him. Like if you fell for someone quickly, then you probably would. Like we're all human. It happens. You open yourself up to them and he had a spare key to her flat. Like he had access. He knew where her parents lived. Like
Yeah.
he like she opened herself up to him so much that like how could she not be like want to play along and want to do
Mm.
these things, and like I think she's very honest in the documentary as well, and like she's very like she really puts herself out there in the documentary, like there's no stone unturned with it, and I think she admits it. She's like, yeah, I've made a fucking ton of mistakes,
Mm.
but there's a reason for all of them though.
But there's also no rule book on this. Like, this is the other thing that annoys me with like the Twitter is when everyone's like, oh, well, she should have done this. And I'm like, that's so easy to say looking in. And that's also, she could have done that and something else still could have gone wrong.
Yeah.
Like, there's no
Mm,
rule book on what to do if your fiance tells you they're a murderer, other
mm,
than ring the police, which she did. And they fucking failed her.
yeah.
Like, there's a police officer in this, and I forget what his name was. I'm going to have to find it and put it on
Yeah,
here.
we'll find it.
He needs a punch in the face. Like everything he said as well was victim blaming her. And I was like, well, hang on, you had never caught this murderer. And yet she's doing 90% of the work for you. And you're blaming her. What?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I was so infuriated with him. Every time he
Yeah.
came on the screen, I think we had to keep rewinding because I was just like shouting at him.
I know. Like, if you guys watch it and you haven't seen it yet, like you'll instantly know who we're talking about by just how we're describing him. And like exactly as you said, like Caroline literally offered this person, these people to him on a platter. to them on a platter. Like, this is the story. Now you can thank me, repay me by protecting me. And like, obviously, if the allegations aren't true, or like if whatever, if he's lied for whatever weird reason, like regardless of any of that, if he's like the most kind of, you know, not undangerous person in the world, there still should be security protections there. That you should take every case seriously.
Yeah.
Therefore, there should have been a police car at her parents' house. There should have been one at her flat. Someone should have checked in on her every day. There was zero of that. There was no victim support. Regardless of whether he's guilty or not, she's still a victim in this.
Yeah. And even when they did turn up, they actually put her in more danger. She asked for help. They handled it so badly, and it essentially put her in more danger.
Yeah.
And luckily, the Sandy, her fiance, didn't realize what had been said.
Yeah.
But fucking hell. And again, it's one of those, like, if he'd reacted badly and killed her, or his twin had, so his twin brother's also a big part of the story. Like, and again, like, the police would then be like, oh, this really brave victim, she came forward and was trying to help us. Like, they would have absolutely like painted her in a different light. But because because they handled it badly, the way they talk about her is fucking awful.
It is.
And she should have had so much more. She actually asked for it. And then again, so she's also a doctor, so they were like, you know, she's an intelligent woman.
Yeah.
But you can see she's spiraling. And again, like, she was filming a lot of things, which you and I were like, that's a bit weird. Like, I can't imagine going on a first date and immediately start filming them. But it was also someone she'd driven to see him off Tinder. She probably should have been filming for her own safety. But you and I were like, well, she was already, you know, spiraling because she was already filming loads of stuff. And like, some of the bits she was filming, again, you and I were like, why would you do that?
Yeah, there was a lot that was questionable. Like,
yeah. But we also, weren't in that headspace. Sorry.
No. Sorry, I interrupted you completely.
No.
And like walking to the police station, like filming yourself with like a filter on, like that is quite unhinged. That's weird. But then we don't know what state of mind she was in at that time.
No.
But also, I guess, like, from the beginning, she was filming things. So she was obviously just a person that likes to document her life. But yeah, there's things I absolutely wouldn't do. Like you said, I wouldn't be filming on the first day. I wouldn't be filming walking into a police station. I get all of that. But as you say, there might have been a reason she wanted to document all of this, especially from that point. She wanted to be like, fuck. Like, she obviously like was recording a lot of things, a lot of important things. So I guess alongside that, she was also recording a lot of other strange things. But I remember, I mean, obviously I won't give it away, but I know there's, in the last episode, things really take a turn for her and her mental health. And I remember you saying, oh, I wonder if that's why she was recording a lot, because it was kind of building up to, she really wasn't in a great mental state at the end of it. So I wonder if that's the reason why she was recording so much, is because she's just so frantic.
Yeah, you can see that, and it is almost like
really
she had to record things to almost believe it herself.
Yeah.
Something I hadn't clocked, actually. She actually said, so she's a pathologist, like we said, she's a doctor, and she wondered if that's why her Sandy, her fiance, looked for her on Tinder. It was on her Tinder profile. Is that why he picked her and love bombed her, so that she could help him? Which is a very good point. Also, pathologists record everything. They have to obviously even voice record while they're doing stuff, because then they write the reports later. So I wonder actually if that's
good point.
If it actually is within her work life, she records a lot. Maybe in life she does document a lot.
It just is a full like habit kind of thing.
Yeah, but again, when we were like early on, she was recording a lot, and it did seem like more than you and I would do. But that's, you know, personal preference for everyone.
Exactly.
But we said it's like, it kind of shows she was already not. And as we said, she'd had a bad previous relationship, so maybe it was just trying to hold on to good things. Yeah, a lot of them were Snapchat, which is quite easy to do if you're on Snapchat, I guess. But yeah, the later ones, you can really see the state of mind she was in, and she wasn't okay. And again, no one was helping her. And I think
there was no support.
Yeah, there was no support. And that last episode, she was trying everything she could to make sure, because again, like, she had so much self-doubt.
Yeah.
And didn't want to cause more damage, that she, you know, took a risk to go and try and make sure that everything was done correctly. And she handled it badly, but because she had no support. So
Yeah.
you and I were so defensive of her. Like we were like,
We were.
we want to look
And
after Caroline. I don't know how old she
yeah.
is. When we're talking her like a baby, she's not.
she's like
a
our
fully
age, I
grown,
think.
yeah, probably our age. And we're like, but she
But
fucking badass
yeah,
and doing the job for the detectives that weren't fucking doing anything or were taking
Mm.
ages to do anything.
I know.
So
And like,
infuriating.
yeah. And yeah, like you said, she was taking kind of the law into her own hands because there was no check-ins. There was just absolutely nothing. And I think like the final straw, you know, where her job is impacted. And obviously like that's her life, that's her career, and she was obviously great at it. And obviously, maybe, you know, I assume still is good at it. And like that's like what defined her as a person, like having that career, and it was an amazing career from the sounds of it. So having that like be damaged and just I feel like there's reasons people go back and survivors and abuse victims go back. You know, they're not stupid, they're not naive, they are manipulated into going back. They feel like they've been isolated from everyone else around them, so they go back to the person that they feel safest with, ironically. So it's crazy to me, it's just mental to me how this fucking Netflix program is about a murderer, but for somehow we are still finding a way to slag off the woman. It's amazing. It's
she's getting way more hate than he ever does.
yeah, I know. I know, it's so depressing. It's just fucking outrageous. And saying, yeah, like you said, so like saying things like, oh, you know, if she, like, oh, if she's a pathologist, like, you know, she's an intelligent woman, we didn't think she needed that support. Like that's just complete bullshit. She's a human being with a human being brain who's going to make imperfect decisions. Like she's still vulnerable. Like she's not a robot. She's someone that needs help. Like blaming or even like taking her career into consideration at all when speaking about that is just, it's just absolutely ridiculous, offensive, and just like that's absolutely insane that why would you even bring her career into it?
But as you said, they really did impact her career. And again, like I'll try not to spoil that part. But that's again how badly they handled this. That it should never come down to the victim's career. It should never have an impact on that. Or sorry, like the victims, all the witnesses. Like, and again, like it was so easy for the fucking dickhead detective to be. He turns around and he's like, "Oh, you know, she should have done this." And people in the comments were like, "Well, she should have moved. She should have run away." And I'm like, but again, when that's your life, it's not just as easy as picking up and running off and moving. And you have your life, you have your family, you have your job, and a job, especially as a doctor, that you've worked your arse off for. Like, it's not just picking up and moving, it's and that's what infuriates me as well, when it's so easy. And again, it's like, why does a guy get to be a murderer, or a couple of guys or whatever get to be a murderer, and it's the victim and the witnesses that end up having to change their entire lives?
I know.
Every
It's
time.
true.
This is not, we've seen this so many times because there's no protection for them.
No, there isn't. There's absolutely nothing. And she got absolutely nothing. And I think it was like towards the end, people were questioning, like, oh, have you not been, you know, has no one reached out to you from the Victim Protect support, whatever it was called? And like, she was like, no, I've heard absolutely nothing. And it wasn't even like, not that it would matter anyway, but she didn't even, it's not even like she didn't reach out. She reached out multiple times. She complained, and there was just nothing. And that is what is scary to me if I think about this documentary, is that this situation could have happened to anyone. This wasn't like a specific special situation that happened to her. And like, it's just meeting a guy off Tinder, which everyone has, me and you have done. Like everyone has been in a similar situation where they've been on a first date before or whatever. So this could happen to anyone. And the fact that like this person had absolutely no support, it doesn't bode well for just like, if me and you were in different situations, tell like this could be a situation that we could come across. Like it's really scary to know that like it really feels like there's not a lot of there's no support really from out there for women when it comes to the police. I mean, every day more and more I have less trust in the police. I don't really have any really ever, ACAB, but like I just never right now there's just zero trust in the police for me.
But again, it's because of stuff like this. And I think what's more upsetting as well, I don't think it's the spoilers, but again, even through all of that, she was still giving them evidence. So even though she was begging for help, she was still helping them. And they knew, but because she was giving them that evidence, they knew that she was in danger getting that evidence, and they still weren't helping.
Yeah.
But they needed her evidence for the case. So you see, and again, it's that where they're like, well, or why was she sticking around or rah? And it's like, but you needed that evidence. She was doing the job for you. You still gave her no support, and you nearly blew her fucking cover.
Yeah.
Sorry, we probably have done quite a few more spoilers than intended, but hopefully
yeah.
it makes you want to watch it, because it is a good documentary. But I hope people watch it with her in mind, not just like, well, why did she do that? I wouldn't do that. Good for you. Good for you if you're a perfect human and you'd have handled this perfectly. Because the reality is, as you say, this could happen to literally anyone. How many people get married and then find out their husband's a piece of shit? And yes, I am blaming the men in this case. But it happens where they're like, he has a second. How many men have second families? Like, you could marry anyone. And it could be a partner sat next to me. But you could marry anyone and then find out too late they're a bad person.
Absolutely.
And it
absolutely.
happens every day.
Yeah.
So I fucking hate that they're like blaming this one woman. And then loads of people are like, well, she's got a Netflix documentary now, so she got what she wanted. And it's like, yes, you're right. I'm sure she really wanted to live through that stress and nearly lose her job and everything else that she went through.
I know. It is crazy. Yes. Well, yeah, like I said, there was a reason people go back. Like, she was, she was isolated from every single other person. Like, if she got the right support, maybe she wouldn't have gone back to him. Maybe there would have been other options for her. And that's what's really sad, that like maybe this outcome could have been better for her.
I think as well, like some of it was kind of self-isolation. And again, I'm not blaming her, but I want people, if they're in that situation, because like I've been in a bad relationship where, again, because another relationship bad, you're almost too embarrassed to tell your friends, I've picked a bad guy. And I think it's, so you do self-isolate because you're like, nobody can help me. So, and like one of her friends, she reached out, had a pregnant wife. So actually we were like, but he, like he should have left, like that's fine, but then like get another friend to go and check on her. Like her parents were just a bit distant about it, and I was just like, but she felt like she couldn't tell anyone because she didn't want to let them down. So, and again, if the police and professionals had stepped in, it wouldn't have felt so isolating, because they could have said, this happens to loads of people, you're not on your own. Because it is harder to tell your family, especially like, if you're like, look, I've fucked up again. And it's like, again, it wasn't her fuck up, but because she was associated, like, I've picked this guy.
Yeah.
And I think that's,
Yeah, I think like if it was me or you, like you would still think it as your fuck up, because you'd be like, oh, I chose this guy. Like, I chose wrong. This is my fault.
Yeah.
And like you say, like it is embarrassing to admit, like, oh, yeah, he is a bad guy. This person that I've chosen is a bad guy. And like none of her friends were like hugely on board to begin with. So it's going to be even harder to come back from.
Yeah.
Like when you're and she did isolate herself completely.
And like, again, but yeah, we've all done it. And I just really hope if anyone thinks of that and they're like, oh my God, I can't tell people. It's like, no, please tell your friends. Because again, when you're past it 2 years down the line, you'll be dying of laughter about that twat. Like it won't be embarrassing anymore. It will just be a story over drinks. But it's so horrible in the moment to get to that, to be like, this is what I've chosen. And like, yeah, but you don't have to choose it forever. And I think that's where she was stuck. And again, but she also didn't want to give up the Highlands and the nature and all that side, because that was healing for her.
Yeah. So you're so right about that, because there isn't very many, like obviously she does talk about him and how he was, but not as much as she spoke about how much she loved the environment and like the vibe of it. And then she had someone that she felt like really genuinely loved her. And so she kind of ran with it. And like, what human person wouldn't do that?
If she'd met him and he was just like, he'd lived in the street round the corner, I don't think she'd have been nearly as infatuated, because she already had that. He was offering her something else. And I think that, again, we've all been, I say we've all been there. Might have been there where people are like, oh my God, look at this different way of life. And it's like,
absolutely. Oh yeah. Like it's going to make her look at things differently. And like, she's going to do things maybe she doesn't normally do. She'll try things she hasn't normally tried. Like she turns into someone different because maybe she kind of thinks, well, that wasn't working out for me. Maybe I'll try this and this will be something that I like get on with a bit more. So like she was doing a lot of things that maybe she wouldn't have done before.
Yeah.
And like changed as a person. And like, obviously you shouldn't do that when you're with someone. They should embrace who you are. But, like, there was just a lot of like like she even said, as like obviously said herself at the end, like it was a very, very unhealthy relationship. It was unhealthy love, but it was love. And like
Yeah.
that's kind of sums it all up. Like it was unhealthy, but it was still love. And that's why
Yeah.
I stuck to it. And that's so sad, but
Yeah.
like she's a human, you know?
And
She's human.
I really hope, I mean, I know at the end she was like, I'm happy now, I'm in a better relationship, but I really hope she is genuinely happy and it
Mm.
isn't just, oh, look, I found a good one this time. And I was like, no, I hope that she's going out on hikes and like, you know, she still has girls' weekends. And I hope that
Yeah.
she has rebuilt that back up and isn't, you know, blaming herself for this because, and as
Mm.
God, I really hope she hasn't been reading Twitter and started to like blame herself because it's fucking bullshit that, again, why is she getting the blame for something a man did?
I know. Well, I made her watch it yesterday, and she was like, she's very brave, really, for like putting herself out there because the mistakes, quote unquote, mistakes that she makes, being human, like she is going to get a lot of shit of that from Twitter, from social media, because people are people and people will people, so they will say things.
Yeah.
So she's very brave in that sense. Like she shouldn't have to worry about the comments, but obviously that's going to happen. So she completely put herself out there.
I really hope she's like currently in a resort somewhere
Yeah.
far away from the internet. Like she was like,
Bahamas.
I know it's coming out. I'm just gonna fuck off for the week.
Yeah.
Like I really hope she's not currently in Scotland to read about it. But
I know. Because that is crazy. Like once that's out there, then like there are things in Netflix that we never forget, like all these cult ones, like fucking Tiger King, like these things that you remember and you remember the people from it. So
another one where the woman got the blame.
yes. Yeah, we had a great evening watching all of these things,
Oh,
all of
God.
these fun, happy things.
It's mad. But yes, definitely worth. But yes, definitely worth a watch. Maybe I'm still drunk from the weekend.
Yes, and we will post like where it's available to watch. Obviously, in the UK you can watch it on Netflix, but I'm not sure about elsewhere, like America and things. So we'll have to look into that. But UK on Netflix, you can definitely go and watch it, and it's really worth a watch. It's really interesting. Think about your opinion, but also think about what Elle said about like how she,
Yeah.
she was just a human being doing human being things. So
Yeah, again, it's
don't be so good. Don't be so quick to criticize.
even if you are like, oh, she shouldn't have done that, I'd have done this. I'm like, yeah, great, but have you actually been in this situation? Because
Yeah, exactly.
it's fun being imperfect.
It's so fun.
But yes, catch us next time. We'll be back to covering a film in a couple of weeks, so join us then. Follow us on all the socials so you can see what we're up to. Subscribe to us because it makes us feel good. And until then, bye.
Bye bye.
Don't.
Don't.
Shit.